The story of Hadassah and Achasverosh. In the time of Achasverosh, the Achasverosh ruled over 127 provinces from India to Ethiopia. It was in those days when King Achasverosh sat on his royal throne in Shushan, the capital, in the third year of his reign, that he gave a banquet for all his officials and courtiers. The army of Persia and Media, the nobles and the provincial officials who were in attendance. He displayed the dazzling wealth of his kingdom and his great splendor for a long time, 180 days. At the end of the time, the king gave a 7-day banquet in the courtyard of the royal palace garden for all the people, both great and small, there in Shushan, the capital. On the 7th day, when the king was in high spirits from the wine, he ordered Memucan, Bista, Havana, Bigta, Avata, Zeta, and Kakas, his 7 officers who attended him, to bring Queen Vashti before the king with the royal crown, in order to show the people and the officials her beauty, for she was indeed a good-looking woman. But Queen Vashti refused to go to see the king at his order, which he had sent through his officers. This enraged the king. His anger blazed inside him. As was the king's custom, he consulted sages well versed in matters of law and justice. With him were Kashna, Shetar, Admata, Tashish, Meres, Masna, and Memucan, the 7 vice-regents of Persia and Media, who were part of the king's inner circle and were the most important officials in the kingdom. The king asked the sages, according to the law, what should we do to Queen Vashti, since she didn't obey the order of King Achasverosh, conveyed by the officers? That was frightening, don't you think? King Vashti will be punished, but let's see how it goes. Memucan presented the king and vice-regents this answer. Vashti, the queen, has wronged not only the king, but also the officials and all the people in all the provinces of King Achasverosh. Why? Because these acts of the queens will become known to all the women, who will then start showing disrespect to their own husbands. Oh, they will say, King Achasverosh ordered Vashti, the queen, to be brought before him, but she wouldn't come. Moreover, the noble ladies of Persia and Media who hear of the queen's conduct will mention it to all the king's officials, which will bring about no end of disrespect and discard. Nobody likes that. If it pleases His Majesty, let him issue a royal decree and let it be written as one of the laws of the Persians and Medes, which are irrevocable, that Vashti is never again to be admitted into the presence of King Achasverosh, and that the king give her royal position to someone better than her. The king was pleased with this advice and asked Memucan to send letters to all the provinces. After some time, when the king's anger had subsided, he instructed his servants to search for young, good-looking virgins. The king should appoint officials in all the provinces of the kingdoms to gather all the young, good-looking virgins to the house for the harem in Shushan, the capital. They should be put under the care of Hagar, the king's officer, in charge of the women, and he should give them the cosmetics they require. Then the girl who seems best to the king should become queen instead of Vashti. This proposal pleased the king, so he acted accordingly. Mordecai had raised Hadassah, his uncle's daughter, because she had neither father nor mother. The girl was shapely and good-looking. After her father's and mother's death, Mordecai had adopted her as his own daughter. When the king's order and decree were proclaimed, and many girls assembled in Shushan, the capital, under the care of Hagar, Hadassah too was taken into the king's house and put under the care of Hagar, who was in charge of the women. The girl pleased him and won his favor, so that he lost no time in giving her cosmetics, her portions of special food, and 7 girls from the king's palace to attend her. He also promoted her and the girls attending her to the best place in the harem's quarters. Hadassah did not disclose her people or family ties because Mordecai had instructed her not to tell anyone. Every day Mordecai would walk around in front of the courtyard of the harem's house in order to know how Hadassah was doing and what was happening to her. He was such a great uncle, very caring. Each girl had her turn to appear before King Achasverosh after she had undergone the full 12 months preparation period prescribed for the women, consisting of a 6-month treatment with oil of myrrh and cosmetics. Then, when the girl went to see the king, whatever she wanted would be given to her as she went from the harem's house to the king's palace. She would go in the evening, and on the following day, she would return to another part of the harem's house and be under the care of Shaashgaz, the king's officers in charge of the concubines. She would not go to the king again unless he was specially pleased with her and had her summoned by name. When the turn came for Hadassah, she found favor before the Lord. She appeared before the king. She didn't ask for anything other than what Hagar, the king's officer in charge of the harem, had advised. Yet Hadassah, the daughter of Avichail, whom Mordecai had adopted, was admired by all who saw her. She was brought to King Achasverosh in his royal palace in the 10th month, Tevet, during the 7th year of his reign. The king liked Hadassah more than any of his wives. None of the other virgins obtained such favor and approval from him. So he put the royal crown on her head and made her queen in place of Vashti. The king then gave a great banquet in honor of Hadassah for all his officers and servants. He decreed a holiday for the provinces and distributed gifts worthy of royal bounty. This is the end of part 1.